What's happening, chess fans? Welcome to Net Chess and Chill. Today is episode number 93 on my journey to 1200 ELO. So, if you enjoy my content, please like and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into today's game. Guys, go check out Fianchetto Club. Link is in the description. You will actually get 20% off if you use code NETCHESS, and they are an awesome company that is based around chess-inspired streetwear. So check them out. Also, my link for my merch is in the description. If you haven't seen my store, you should go check it out. It's pretty cool. I worked hard on it. Hopefully you like it. Anyways, today's going to be a little different. We're going to go over 3 games that I played. I took a day off yesterday. Thank you guys for all the support I've been getting. I've reached 1,500 subs, so I am pretty excited about that. You guys are awesome. I can't believe that I have so many people that enjoy my channel. I mean, to me, it just tickles me to death. So thank you guys. Again, I can't thank you enough. And yeah, we're going to get into 3 games. These are pretty bad games by me, but I did play them here today, actually. And yeah, we're just going to look at them, review them, and see where I could, start working on some things. Because I do want to learn some new openings, and I do want to start getting better. I mean, it's taken me a long time to get to 1200. I mean, it's hard for me. I know it's hard to gain ELO just in general, but yeah, with the channel and everything and playing games every day, I'm not really studying. It's hard to gain ELO without getting more knowledge. So today is going to be an attempt to kind of study at least 3 of the games that I played and see where I went wrong. Let's get right into it. So today I played a game against Brett Sturr. He is from the US of A, and he was rated around 1150, I think. I think before this game he was like 1149 or something, 1148. I played with 69% accuracy. He played even lower than that, and I actually ended up blundering this game away. It was a complete draw. This guy kind of aggravated me and offered me a draw a few times in the game, which I think is kind of annoying. You'll see his play style too. He plays like he just wanted a draw for a lot of the game. But we missed a lot of things. He did as well, and let's check it out. So we get a Caro Kann. I get to play c5, which I like, and I bring the knight out to c6. He closes in the structure. A lot of people come down and pin my knight first, but in this circumstance, I almost always bring my bishop out for the pin. If they play a move like h3 the turn before, instead of, this move, if they play h3, I usually put the bishop on f5. That's basically always my next move, and followed up by e6 so I can get this knight into the game somewhere. But anyways, he closes up kind of like the pyramid over there. He's built this connect 4. If it was connect 4, he would have won. I went for the pin. I then took, which is not the best move. I think the best move is to close up, e6. Because I can take that kind of whenever. And if he does take, it helps me develop after I've played e6. If he takes before, then I still got to play e6, blah, blah, blah. So we end up here. Everything's cool. He develops the knight to c3. I develop my knight out to e. So taking. The computer just wants me to take, and I probably should do this more often. I send the bishop here to die. So when he gets the bishop in between the queen, I should maybe understand that he can move the knight. And, I mean, I'm down to trade the bishop for sure. But sometimes it's nice to get the knight in these positions, I've noticed, because the knight can be really annoying. So we get there anyways. I just didn't play the most accurate way of getting there. So he's got some defense on this, right? I mean, my goal was to attack this pawn as many times as I could, try and win it. He did a good job of defending it. He even has a few more ways to do so. So I actually gave this check because I thought, hey, I'll just trade off the dark squared bishop. It's not really the best move. The best move is bringing the queen over, kind of keeping an eye on this. I have one more defender here. If he brings this in, that's when I can think about maybe giving the check. And then he's got to move the bishop again, and then we can actually just win this outright instead of building up all the pressure, which So I took here, which is inaccurate. I should have built up more pressure because. Okay, so I missed that fine little detail. That's what I was missing. So we're doing this because I can win the pawn now. Because he's blocked his queen's vision of the pawn. So that makes a lot of sense now that I see it. So castling here was also a bit of an inaccuracy. It is like, bro, you got the guys here. Go for this. Put the pressure there. I castled instead, and he did as well. And then I played this move. And you can see it is not nearly as strong now that we've castled. So it's like kind of important to play things like when you can. This is a move that, I fathom while I play f6, but I don't ever really play because I feel like it just weakens my e6 so much, and I'm scared of losing it. Yeah, especially with something like this where, I don't know. I feel like his bishop's a bit misplaced right now, but if he kind of recoordinates his pieces and stuff, he can start to kind of defend this, and this is strong, I don't know why my arrows looked like that. Excuse that. Anyways, so I brought the queen over, brought the rook to the c-file. He starts attacking my knight. I could have just left my knight here. Apparently, the queen trade is decent right now. Gets my knight to a square that it wants to be on and can start getting into the position. Yeah, because getting the knight here would be fantastic. But let alone, it also just straight up opens my rook. So, yeah, I see that. I did move my knight in here, which I thought was a weird move, but I was like, if he's going to make pawn weaknesses, I'm fine, and I will just back out of the whole position if I have to. So I saw an escape route, and I planned it. I didn't think it was a great move, but I didn't really know what to do, and I felt like him repeating is annoying. So he played like this for a lot of the game as well. He brought the knight here, brought the knight in here. I don't know what this move does. I missed an opportunity to just get my rook straight up involved in the game, double up my rooks. That would have been sweet. During the game, I was thinking of trying to double my rooks, but here again, I'm just a little slow doing this. So my thought here was, I'm not scared to move the knight back anymore because my knight's here to recapture. I wasn't really scared before, but I think even a move like knight to g6 is maybe even a little bit better. I don't know. Anyways, it wanted me to get the rook in. He plays this. I took. The best move here is to actually just get the heck back out and come in here, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I tried in this game, but it ended up not working for me. So he goes to try and trade off a pair of rooks. Once I infiltrate, like, he doesn't want me to win the pawn. So I played this, which is a miss. It wants me to take the rook. And then to come in like this, maybe? No, I can't. He's going to take with the queen. And it wants me to just trade off things. Alright, so we kind of did that. We just didn't look as cool doing it. I went for this big trade right here, which I kind of saw on the board, but I didn't want to trade. And he just kept... So, alright, it was good that I didn't repeat moves. That was... he just wanted to trade. I see that he's got doubled pawns. The endgame's probably a little bleaker for him, but it is a draw. He kept offering me draws also around this entire point. He was doing it he did it through the game, but he's offering more draws while I'm playing him right now. Like in this point of the game. I thought bringing my king was maybe a good idea, but I guess not. So I'm winning. And this is my problem. Inaccurate. I was so like hell-bent on like, yeah, man, I'll just get in and, really I can start doing pawn breaks and stuff. I don't know. I get real nervous about pawn breaks and rooks, and I don't know. This is a perfect example of me throwing away a game. So I took back the open file. I brought the rook down here. My rook is fine right there. It is. This computer is screaming like, just open the position a little bit. It'll benefit me. So I brought it. I should have traded. I'm winning the end game here. I'm not good at end games, so I don't have faith in me that way. But this was a problem. So I did this, leaving the defense of this and saying, you take me. I'd rather you take me. And I was planning on taking probably, I don't know. I didn't decide whether I wanted to take with my king or the pawn, but I thought maybe it was a good option to have both. We are a little lower on time here, but I was also playing for his time, which is not good. So here he just is like, okay, I'll attack this weak pawn. I'm stupid here, right? All I got to do is slide back over. He's offering me draws. I'm a little peeved. I played this. He takes the pawn with check, wins another pawn, and this isn't good for me. I should have just come over here and counterattacked this pawn. I guess it works because if he does push it, it doesn't matter. Whoa. Sorry, guys. So, anyways, we get here, and I don't know. I just was like, I'm going to start winning pawns. Since you're beating me right now, I'm going to start eating all your pawns. I got in there. He let me kind of get in there. This was a better move. Because if he comes here, I just take the pawn. He can't actually protect it right now. So that would have been sweet. I kind of missed that. I did this. He comes over to attack my rook. I then bring my rook over. Take. And here I'm like, well, before I played that move, I'm winning again. I got right back in it. These pawns are strong. They're, unopposed on that side of the board. But this ended up being my downfall. I got a little too greedy. So I should have brought my rook over. Also, my idea was, I'll just win another pawn. That is not the right idea. I was also worried that I guess he can't really sidestep. He sidesteps here. Maybe I don't care. Maybe we trade the rooks. No, he sidesteps here. I can't trade the rooks. I'd have to take. Taken would probably work. I don't know. I didn't calculate this correctly. And he ended up getting in. And this was straight up a blunder. Taking with check would have been the way to do this. And no matter where he moves, then we can do things like this. Because we can like mirror the king. I can probably get to this with my king before he can move the rook. And then I'd just win the pawn. I did it wrong and just lost the whole game. We did it a few times. So this was a miss on his end. The best move for him was to push the pawn. That was another detail that I missed, was I should have just taken the pawn with check and then come back. Whereas what we did in the game was I came from here and just was like, oh, I need to stop the pawn. I should have taken first, then come back. Would have been better. I didn't know if I'd be in time. This was a mistake on my end, pushing this pawn. Just king cannot get in. Like, you have to go back, which is sweet. Giving my king time to get over. Yeah, I just missed a few things here, so that is what it is. We ended up losing that one, so not very fun to lose games like that, especially when I was getting annoyed that he was sending me draw offers for most of the game, and I thought that was, I don't know if it's disrespectful, but it is, like, aggravating, because, like, a lot of that game was not a draw. Like, this game looks like a freaking, like you're on, like, the jog machine in the gym, and you're climbing the mountains. Like, that's what it looks like. It looks crazy. So, that was a fun one. Let's get to the next one. This game I played against Beth Fanboy from Sweden, and another low accuracy game, 64.2% accuracy. My opponent played quite a bit worse than that, but we'll get right into it. I come out with a London. They are going for like a King's Indian sort of setup. I play this way against the King's Indian. This is not... I'm going for a trick, and you guys might have seen me play this before on my channel. It's one of my quick, like, I memorized it checkmates that I know. If I, basically I'm going for this pawn push after he's played this move, and when he takes, usually they'll take the queen before they deal with the knight being attacked. So they'll take the queen, I'll recapture with the rook, and then a lot of times they'll move the knight over here attacking this bishop. I usually bring the knight in, and the best move I think there for them is to actually castle, if I'm not mistaken. But most people don't, or they fall for it, and they try something different. And people bring this knight out, I'll take. It's a weird little checkmate that I do. It doesn't always work. So we go for it here. He takes, I take. So most people, like I said here, take the queen, I recapture with the rook, and then they play a move like this. In which case, I usually do this. I took his queen to make him not castle. Apparently, the rook move wasn't even the best move. Getting the knight out to defend this pawn, which I so nicely hung, is the prerogative. And I mean, it is what it is. I didn't really worry about it too much. I felt like we got out of the opening and we made the king not castle. The king is in the center of the board. His rooks aren't connected, and this just feels kind of bad for him. It's very even, the computer says, but I felt better in this position. So this was a blunder. I missed it. We can look at it. The blunder is that I can bring this in. If he takes... Whoa, hold on. Let's look at this. Huh. Okay. So the point is, if I'm threatening to take the knight, and you can't recapture back because it's pinned to your king. So he tries to block with his knight. I still just take the bishop. He takes my bishop. I recapture, which is kind of crazy looking. He moves his king, and there we are. I come out ahead on that one. I mean, I guess that's fine. I didn't see that. We just castled. I dealt with it kind of in this manner. So he actually gets a fork on me, and I didn't know what to do, but I found this move, which isn't even the best move. The best move is to drop the bishop back and let him take this. But I was like, I don't know. We're going for it. I thought this was a decent find because I was threatening to fork his king and his rook. And he's got to address that. If he doesn't, if he just takes the bishop, I'm doing it, and I'll be down in exchange, but I don't know. It's not that great, but I saw it. I was like, maybe this works. He did address it, so it worked for me. I brought the rook here. The rook needed to go here, and my logic was, I was like, maybe I'll just try and trap the bishop at least for a move or two, like for him to get out. Like, just make it so he can't go here, about maybe pushing the pawn. I don't know. That was my thought. It's not a very good one, but it was kind of what I was thinking. So here, I was like, I'll just do this. I didn't think about his next move, which was that. But I was like, all right, I'll just take the... it wants me to really just give this up, which is hysterical to me. But I guess the thought is takes, and then this check, and, I mean, I don't know. From there, I guess we would trade one set of rooks, and I just have a way better position. But this is hanging. I don't know. This is a complicated game for me. I ended up blundering again, sort of. It wanted me to really try and get my knight out, Um, this pawn has been kind of a weakness for a long time, so um, putting pressure on it seems like a decent idea. I guess he just has a move like that. Um, I don't know. The computer sees more than I do in this position. I was confused. I was running out of ideas. This was that weird bishop block move that I was telling you guys about. It was a bigger fan of like, yo, let's get your pieces more active. I did think about bringing my bishop here for a while, but it never actually happened in the game. I used this as an opportunity to win a piece. Um, this was funny. I pushed the pawn and I was like, I'll just make like this an outpost for my bishop. Like, screw it, you know. And like right now he needs to move his bishop again, right? Because this is a discovery on his bishop. He kind of missed it, and so I did win the bishop. He attacks my bishop. Um, he hangs his rook by moving this knight. So I do take the rook. I take a pawn giving check. He comes down. I bring the rook back. He is now attacking my bishop. I brought my bishop all the way back. This allowed for me to win another pawn, and my opponent resigned and said GG's. So we played a pretty poor game that game. I feel like we picked it right up there at the end, but there was quite a lopsided period where I didn't know what to do. And most of his loss right there was because he had 8 seconds left on the clock. I had 6 minutes and 39 seconds, so I was a little bit tilted during this game. And I guess my version of tilt is like I don't really like yell or get mad or anything, but I get irritated enough that I'm playing kind of like a blitz game when it's not blitz, and I know better, which is good. That means like my speed is improving in chess, but I need to work on that because playing a few games of rapid chess in a row tend to make me feel that way, and I've always found it hard. Like playing blitz, I don't care as much, but playing rapid games, I care when I lose. So my tilt is like I start playing faster, and that doesn't help me. So I gotta stop doing that. So I'm working on that every day. This is my third game. I played this against Ash 88 Gloss. He is from the UK. And we played with 69.3% accuracy in this game. We didn't have any blunders, but we had some misses, and we had a lot of inaccuracies. So we can look at it. I played a London, and we get yet another one of these Indian games. So this move is inaccurate, and I know it is. The move that I should probably be playing is queen to d2 and trying to castle queenside and just like attack on this side of the board. That's like the London-ish look or way to attack. I don't know. Like I'm playing a London, but I'm like, oh, you're going for this? Okay, boom, and I set up e4. Because normally we don't want the knight here, right? The knight goes on d2 in the London, and this pawn is definitely on e3 all the time. But when they start doing this Indian stuff, I like to do this, and this is inaccurate, but I go for a trick. And this guy took my bait a little better. So this does offer the same thing. So like I said, most people bring the knight over to here, and we bring the knight in here. We do not go knight b5 because if he brings the knight here, it actually protects this, and my bishop can't take the knight. So we actually go knight to d5, which is an awesome move because if he plays, most people play knight to h5, attacking the bishop. This protects this bishop, which is kind of cool, and it also is about to fork the king and the rook. So what most people will do is they'd play knight to h5. We would bring our knight into d5. I'm not 100% sure there, but I think the best move is to castle. I'm not 100% sure. Again, I think you win the knight eventually. You just keep the knight there. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, I don't know. And something that other people do is they move the king here, which is kind of an interesting move. Like, so this knight would be here, this knight goes here, they move the king here. And I can't go for this anymore, right? But what I can do, and I think is best, is we want to still attack the king with the knight. I think bringing the bishop back all the way home is all the way to c1 is a good move because it keeps the bishop on this awesome diagonal, and it still allows for us to get what we want, and we can actually just move the knight to b6, still winning the rook with a discovery on the king. That might be a little complicated. I like that position. He moves the king over and gives up castling rights, so I basically succeeded in my endeavors. I should have just put pressure on the knight. Makes a hell of a lot of sense. He's got to move the knight now. I mean, no matter what he does, I'm going to be annoying about it. So my thought is I can still just win the rook outright. I missed this entirely, and I brought the knight into there, which I have this check. This is an awesome check. You can't really do anything about it. You can put the knight there, but we can just take with the pawn if we want to. I could take with the knight. I could do all sorts of things. Yeah, if he does that, this is just devastating, right? Yeah, I guess he can't do that. So, anyways, I end up just taking the knight. We trade a little bit. I get his king moving around a bit. I had this pawn being quite the nuisance here in the center of the board. I thought trading down pieces here, maybe not the worst thing in the world. You can see we've had a few inaccuracies in a row, right? So I'm missing the ideas in this position, and the idea is I'm not castled. This pawn is under attack, and it's with check. I did see it in the game, but I was like, oh, I can just keep kind of trade pieces down and not worry about it. Not the way to go. The computer is just taking away my advantage that I had worked kind of hard to get. Again, another missed opportunity. This just simply is annoying to the knight. He's not immediately trapped, but it is pretty annoying. He's got to do some things to get out. He hung his knight, so that was kind of my saving grace. I don't know why he did this. He moved his rook over. I mean, I kind of get it, but kind of don't. Yeah, your knight's in peril, dude. Like, you got to get this thing out. So maybe he thought it was trapped, but it wasn't. So we slowly tried to... We got the king out. That was number one. I pushed this pawn, and my idea was block everything up. I didn't want him to be able to come over here. I guess he can't go there or there. This stops the king from getting away, which is awesome. That's actually pretty sick. I didn't play it that way. I did this to blockade everything. So like if he pushed this, I didn't care because if I would let him take because it promotes on a light square, and my goal was to not let his king get by. Like I was like, I'm just gonna play D. So I brought my king forward because he backed up and took my pawn that had been kind of a nuisance. It was stopping this pawn push and stuff. He also played h5, and so I played h4 to kind of stop everything. This was inaccurate by me. I should have taken and let him take. Again, I feel like it's okay. I don't trust myself in endgames, so I figured this was fine. He can't get in anywhere right now. This stops the pawn. I'm not worried about anything. I pushed this pawn, but really, this was the move that I was considering. The reason I did it was because I still thought that regardless of what happens, I'm going to be winning. He backs the king up. I brought the bishop here just to get it in, and I was going to win this pawn. Keep the bishop on this file. He pushes the pawn. I took, and instead of letting him take, I thought this was a little better. I take, and I don't care because I'm promoting on a light square. So I did bring the king forward, pushed my own pawn. He attacks my king, and I took the pawn. And, I mean, he can start maybe trying to run his king, but I'm going to promote, so I'll be promoting first. If he tried to promote, my bishop sees all that, so he can't get his king over there in time. Anyways, that was a fun game. I don't know, kind of all over the place. We played like an 1100 in that game. They played like an 1000. So today was an example of 3 games that I kind of struggled through, kind of back to back to back, but it's kind of part of the journey. So my goal is to try and make a little less of these errors, And a lot of that will come from me just having an idea of like what I want to do in certain positions. And I think reviewing games like this, even though I didn't review them in but so much depth, they're helpful to me. And I think doing them in bulk is helpful as well. Like seeing just kind of looking at similar mistakes across just a few games that I just played back to back to back. And I could have played better chess if I didn't make the same mistakes over and over. So to me, it's helpful. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. And yeah, thank you. Catch you next time.